In a world that celebrates noise, applause, and the clamor of constant assertion, the quiet soul often seems invisible. Yet, it is in the silent streams that carve valleys, in the patient hands that build empires unseen, that true strength is forged. Strength is often imagined as loud, aggressive, and undeniable. But consider the tree that stands in the storm, unmoved, bending without breaking. Quiet strength is not weakness. It is mastery over oneself, over fear, and over circumstance. A quiet spirit reflects thoughtfulness, discernment, and clarity. Calmness allows one to see solutions where chaos sees only problems. History and life are full of leaders and visionaries whose silence spoke louder than any shouting ever could. True influence is rarely about force, it is about character. Quiet leaders inspire trust and loyalty. Their impact is subtle but enduring. Example: the person who listens more than they speak often changes more lives than the loudest voice in the room. Waiting, reflecting, and acting at the right moment requires courage. A quiet spirit absorbs challenges and learns from them rather than reacting impulsively. Resilience is the hallmark of those who remain composed, even when the world around them is in chaos. Controlling one's emotions and desires requires far more courage than dominating others. Strength is measured not in what one can break, but in what one can endure gracefully. Thoughtful words, kind actions, and deliberate choices leave a lasting imprint. A quiet spirit teaches that influence is not in volume, but in consistency, sincerity, and integrity. Let us not mistake loudness for power or speed for strength. Let us cultivate the quiet spirit within ourselves, one that listens, learns, endures, and inspires. For in the end, the world remembers those who were quietly strong far longer than those who shouted the loudest. True strength does not always announce itself with noise or spectacle. It often whispers, subtle and steady, in the quiet corners of the mind and heart. A person with inner calm faces challenges without panic, making decisions not out of fear, but from clarity and reason. Calmness allows the mind to observe situations fully, to notice details that others miss when their hearts are racing or their tempers are flaring. It gives space between impulse and action, creating a pause where thoughtfulness thrives. People are drawn to calmness because it radiates confidence without arrogance, certainty without aggression. In social interactions, a calm person listens more than they speak, understanding that attention can be more powerful than words. Their presence alone can settle heated arguments, ease tension, and restore focus when chaos surrounds them. Calmness is magnetic. It inspires trust because others sense the control that comes from mastery over oneself. Unlike loud displays of strength that often rely on fear or intimidation, quiet strength relies on consistency, patience, and clarity. Even in the most stressful situations, a calm mind finds solutions while noise breeds confusion. This form of strength is deeply rooted in self-awareness, knowing one's limits, emotions, and triggers, and choosing to respond with thought rather than reaction. In communities, calm individuals often become pillars of support because their behavior encourages others to mirror their composure. They remind people that resilience is not about breaking under pressure, but about holding firm and moving steadily. Inner calm is not passive. It is a deliberate choice to rise above the fray, to act with intention, and to maintain dignity regardless of circumstance. It allows a person to influence others without commanding or controlling them, because those around them feel safe and guided by their unwavering presence. In essence, calmness carries an unspoken power, a quiet authority that shapes decisions, relationships, and outcomes in ways that noise and true influence is rarely loud. It does not rely on domination or commands. A humble person earns respect because they act with sincerity rather than show. People are naturally drawn to those who value others, who listen more than they speak, and who act without seeking attention or praise. Humility allows someone to see beyond their own desires, to understand the feelings and perspectives of others, and to respond in ways that encourage growth and trust. In groups, a humble individual often becomes the anchor, the one others turn to when confusion or conflict arises, not because they demand authority, but because they embody fairness and wisdom. Humility makes actions speak louder than words, and small acts of kindness, honesty, and integrity carry far more weight than grand displays of ego. It encourages collaboration rather than competition, connection rather than confrontation, and builds bonds that endure longer than relationships built on fear or authority. People who lead with humility inspire loyalty because their guidance feels genuine, their advice trustworthy, and their presence reassuring. In social settings, humble individuals listen to understand, not to reply, which allows them to influence opinions and decisions without forcing them. Their strength lies in the ability to give others space to shine, to support without overshadowing, and to guide without controlling. In families, workplaces, and communities, humility creates environments where people feel valued, safe, and motivated to contribute. It is quiet power, shaping hearts and minds subtly, leaving impressions that endure far beyond immediate interactions. Humility removes the need to compete for attention, instead offering a magnetic presence that encourages reflection, trust, and cooperation. Through humility, influence becomes natural, because the world instinctively responds to those who act with empathy, respect, and integrity, realizing that leadership is not about being the loudest, but about being the most steady, understanding, and dependable. It allows a person to inspire change without force, to guide without pressure, and to leave a lasting mark on lives through sincerity and gentle wisdom. Patience is not weakness. It is a quiet form of power that shapes outcomes and molds character. A patient person understands that life's most valuable rewards take time, effort, and persistence, and they do not rush the process out of fear or frustration. Patience allows people to listen fully before responding, to observe before acting, and to act deliberately rather than impulsively. In social interactions, it helps in building trust because others feel heard, respected, and understood, and it prevents conflicts from escalating unnecessarily. Patience gives the mind space to analyze situations, anticipate consequences, and make wiser choices, which often leads to results that are far more effective and lasting than hasty decisions. People who practice patience also inspire those around them. Their calm endurance encourages others to slow down, think clearly, and act with care. In families, workplaces, and communities, patient individuals become stabilizing forces, helping others navigate challenges without panic or rashness. Patience allows a person to endure difficulties without losing hope or focus, to keep moving steadily toward goals even when progress seems invisible, and to maintain dignity when faced with criticism or setbacks. It turns waiting into an opportunity to prepare, learn, and grow, transforming obstacles into lessons rather than burdens. Those who understand the power of patience do not demand immediate results or recognition. They trust the process, and their quiet determination often achieves what loud insistence cannot. In leadership, patience cultivates loyalty because people recognize that guidance is thoughtful and intentions are genuine. It is also a source of resilience, as patience trains the mind to remain composed under pressure and to recover from disappointment without bitterness. Patience strengthens relationships because it teaches empathy and understanding, allowing space for mistakes, growth, and reconciliation. It is a form of self-control that reflects maturity, wisdom, and inner strength. The patient person knows when to act and when to wait, when to speak and when to listen, and in this mastery of timing lies a power that is subtle yet unstoppable, influencing outcomes and inspiring others through consistency. Calm endurance and measured action resilience is the quiet strength that allows a person to rise each time life knocks them down. It is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to endure challenges without losing hope or purpose. A resilient person faces difficulties with courage, maintaining balance when everything around them seems to crumble. They do not allow setbacks to define them or dictate their actions. Instead, they learn from failures, adapting and growing stronger with each experience. In relationships, resilience creates stability because people trust those who remain steady in times of crisis. It shows that strength is not measured by avoiding hardships, but by confronting them with composure and determination. Resilience allows people to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth and reflection. It nurtures patience because enduring hardship requires time, perseverance, and unwavering focus. In communities, resilient individuals become pillars, quietly inspiring others through their determination and steadfastness. They teach that true strength is internal, cultivated through self-discipline, reflection, and the refusal to give up when faced with adversity. Resilient people manage emotions instead of being controlled by them, maintaining clarity and composure, even when under pressure. They see challenges as temporary, not permanent, and approach difficulties with a mindset of problem-solving rather than complaint. This strength fosters trust and reliability because others know that resilience is consistent, not conditional. In the workplace or society, resilient individuals handle criticism, rejection, or failure without losing confidence, often achieving success where others might give up. Resilience encourages empathy, as those who endure hardships are often more understanding and supportive of others in similar situations. It transforms pain into purpose, setbacks into lessons, and struggles into stepping stones toward growth. The resilient person does not seek attention for endurance. Their strength is quiet, patient, and continuous. It is a force that shapes character, builds respect, and leaves a lasting impression on the lives they touch, showing that adversity is not an obstacle to be feared, but a stage where true strength is revealed. Self-mastery is the silent power that separates true strength from mere bravado. It is the ability to control thoughts, emotions, and desires, even when external circumstances are chaotic or challenging. A person who masters themselves does not react impulsively to anger, fear, or frustration. Instead, they pause, reflect, and choose their response with wisdom and intention. This control builds confidence because they are not slaves to fleeting emotions or external pressures. In social interactions, self-mastery earns respect and trust because others can rely on the consistency of words and actions. It allows a person to influence without manipulation, to lead without dominance, and to inspire without demanding attention. Mastery over oneself requires honesty, humility, and courage, as it involves recognizing weaknesses and working steadily to improve them. It is about turning inner conflict into clarity and using self-discipline as a tool to achieve personal and communal goals. People who practice self-mastery understand the importance of patience as growth and transformation take time. They resist shortcuts and quick fixes, choosing long-term wisdom over temporary satisfaction. In relationships, self-mastery promotes empathy and understanding because controlling one's own impulses allows space for listening, compromise, and thoughtful action. It transforms challenges into opportunities for reflection and self-improvement rather than frustration and blame. Those with self-mastery are resilient in the face of criticism, setbacks, or social pressure because their foundation is internal, not dependent on external validation. They navigate conflicts with calm authority, inspire trust through reliability, and demonstrate that true power comes from discipline and awareness, not from dominating others. Self-mastery also encourages mental clarity, helping a person set priorities, avoid distractions, and act decisively when it matters most. It strengthens character, shapes reputation, and builds lasting influence because it is rooted in integrity, patience, and deliberate choice. The person who masters themselves stands firm in the storms of life, guided by principle rather than impulse, and demonstrates through every decision that the most enduring strength is found not in controlling the world around them, but in controlling the world within. Gentle wisdom is a subtle force that influences hearts and minds without demanding attention. It is expressed through thoughtful words, deliberate actions, and a calm presence that reassures others. People with gentle wisdom do not rely on loudness or force to make an impact. Instead, their insight and understanding guide others naturally. They listen with care, speak with intention, and act in ways that encourage growth and reflection. In social settings, this quiet wisdom fosters trust because others sense sincerity and clarity in their approach. Gentle wisdom creates environments where people feel valued, understood, and inspired to contribute without fear or pressure. It shapes decisions by encouraging reflection, patience, and empathy, allowing individuals and communities to make choices that are balanced and fair. Those who embody gentle wisdom influence, not through authority, but through example, demonstrating that actions aligned with integrity have a lasting effect. In families, workplaces, and communities, gentle wisdom strengthens relationships by promoting understanding, cooperation, and mutual respect. It helps navigate conflicts calmly, finding solutions that benefit all rather than escalating tension or asserting dominance. People are drawn to gentle wisdom because it provides clarity in moments of uncertainty and comfort in times of distress. It teaches that power does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers, guides, and nurtures growth quietly, but effectively. Gentle wisdom also encourages introspection, helping individuals recognize their own strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities for improvement. It fosters resilience by showing that patience, thoughtfulness, and understanding are tools for overcoming challenges. The impact of gentle wisdom is enduring because it touches people at a deeper level, shaping character, values, and behavior over time. It reminds society that influence is not measured by volume, visibility, or immediate results, but by the lasting positive change it creates in the hearts and minds of those around. Those who practice gentle wisdom leave a subtle but permanent mark, inspiring others to think, act, and live with greater empathy, care, and integrity, proving that the quietest guidance often achieves the most profound and lasting impact.